I can't believe that Thinkorswim has been down for 2 days in a row. I've been using Thinkorswim for about 3 years and they were excellent up until the free commissions came. Then a flood of Robinhood users and other free brokerage users came and migrated to Thinkorswim, and now it's just overloaded and sucks. The question is, what are they going to do for the users that have taken big losses or haven't been able to trade? How are they going to make things right? There is no doubt that this outage has cost millions of dollars, either not being able to trade or not being able to execute their trades efficiently. This issue that we've had in the last 2 days really isn't new. I mean, they've been slow. I noticed the platform slowing down around the beginning of the year, and my executions were struggling, especially in the first 30 minutes. I finally was fed up and gave them a call, and they were questioning my computer, my internet, and saying no one else is having issues. You need a pretty big computer to run all this. It's not my computer, and my internet is directly plugged in. It's not my internet. I know it's Thinkorswim. So stop trying to blame my stuff. I know all users were having the same type of issues because I saw it in forums, saw it on YouTube, saw it in my chat rooms. Everywhere, everyone was struggling with Thinkorswim. In fact, I got stuck in a position in April for around 3 hours. It was on a small cap stock and I was planning on day trading it. Luckily, I went very small on it. I only did 100 shares when I normally do like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 shares. And I actually recorded it, so I'll show you that video in a second. So I originally tried to get out for about a 10-cent gain, and with 100 shares, I mean, it's only 10 bucks, but I noticed that Thinkorswim was lagging earlier in the day, so that's why I went so small. It's just like, let's just test this out, see if it works. And check out this picture. My limit order is well below the bid and the ask price. I should have been easily filled. Then I went from green to red, and I hate seeing my position going from green to red. So I hit the flatten button, thinking, how about try a market order? The flatten button will put in that market order and get me out of the position as fast as possible. But that didn't really happen. So check out this video. So as you see, my order is just following the bid and not getting filled. At the time of this video, it was going for about 15 minutes. After about an hour of it doing this, following, as you see, I called TD Ameritrade and sat on hold for about another hour. The reason I waited so long is because the stock went up to about $5.40. So I was thinking maybe this was lucky that it wouldn't let me get out. But yeah, when I called TD Ameritrade, they said, okay, we'll get you filled. We're working on it. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. They didn't really give me much detail of what was happening. But yeah, they filled me at around $4.50, giving me a loss. I normally would do around the 2,000 shares, as I said, but I was very lucky that I only had those 100, so I wasn't too angry at this, but it made me really doubt the platform. And that's when I started using other platforms to execute my trades. But after this little rant, I'll go over the platforms that you can use instead of Thinkorswim. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want more videos like this and to see more about brokerages. I have a whole other video about brokerages and some more reviews. So this also happened in March or April, sometime in that time frame. I saw Square take a huge fall and I had this level ready to dip by it. It got to it, I got in, and it immediately bounced. So at that point, I was like, I'm just gonna get out, take my profit. I put in a limit order right at the bid and didn't get filled. Thinkorswim did what it's been doing the last 2 days, where it just loses data, and I tried to cancel my order, but it wouldn't let me. Things were just so frozen. So I hurried and opened up my app and saw it was working just fine and that it had gone up even further than I thought. So I got out on the app. And then about 10 minutes later, Thinkorswim decides to work again. So it pulls up and it executes my order that it wouldn't let me cancel. So now I'm short the position of the stock that I was very bullish on. At that point, I wasn't down too much yet, but I was down even after my original profit. So I just took the loss because I was very bullish on this stock. And that is also another reason that I switched from Thinkorswim. Now the first brokerage that I switched to was Lightspeed. Lightspeed is the fastest and most reliable I could recommend. Let me show you some of the fees, and I'll show you some other brokerages over here on my computer. Okay, so the first broker that I went to when I was having all these issues with Thinkorswim was Lightspeed. Lightspeed is by far the fastest brokerage that I've ever worked with. They are direct access, so your orders go directly to the market. There's no middle guy with Lightspeed. The problem is that they have some fees unlike discount brokers. So here's the fees for Lightspeed. They have the active trader commissions here. So the more shares you do, the cheaper your commissions will be. And that works for all of the different options of futures, options, and stocks. Or here's the standard commission, starts at 45.0045 and a $1 minimum. So every trade will be at least $1 in commissions. So the pros of Lightspeed are they're quick, reliable. The platform Lightspeed can actually be used on Windows and Mac, but the Mac version I've had a few issues with before. But the Windows version, never have I had any problems with. If you've seen Ross Cameron with Warrior Trading, he uses Lightspeed for all of his executions. And con is the charts are pretty bad, but you get the basic stuff and they do move really well and they're very accurate, but there's not very many indicators you can put on. So that's more up to you if that matters very much. So something that a lot of people do is they execute their trades on Lightspeed, but they use a different platform for their charting. Like I was using Thinkorswim and using Lightspeed for my executions. I know other people use eSignal or Tradingview or DOS, and that's another pro for Lightspeed is you can connect other platforms to Lightspeed. If we go to technology here and see trading software, you can see that it's got Lightspeed Trader, which is their normal thing, Lightspeed Web and mobile, so you can't get both. You either get to use Lightspeed Trader or Lightspeed Web and mobile, so you don't get both, and that was something that was kind of frustrating to me with Lightspeed. You can also use Sterling with Lightspeed or Easy or EMS, formerly Realtic. So you can connect different platforms with Lightspeed other than just Lightspeed Trader. If you want something that's all inclusive too, there is Tradestation. This is one that I have recently opened. Their pricing is awesome, and that is why I opened with them. I didn't want to be spending all those commissions with Lightspeed. So free commissions over here. You've got two account types, TS Select or TS Go. Here are all their commissions. The biggest differences are the web trading, mobile apps, and Tradestation desktop. So the desktop is by far the most powerful, but the other two are still really powerful. With the TS Go, it's $10 per trade if you use a desktop version. I didn't know this the first day that I was set up on TS Go. I was paying $10 per trade my first day, but now it's switched to Select. There is a minimum deposit for Select, and there's no minimum on TS Go. There are some hidden things here that they don't mention. You do have to meet some minimum requirements in order for the desktop version to be free. One of those things is 5,000 shares per month. So if you do 5,000 shares per month, it will be free. So you might want to read some of this small stuff down here because there are hidden things in there that I missed when I opened my Tradestation account. So real quick, I want to show you the Tradestation desktop. So here is the desktop. I believe it is only available on Windows, so you can't use it on Macs. But you do have the matrix, which is just like the active trader in Thinkorswim, where you can buy and sell right here on the order entry window / level 2. So you can just hit like that. You can buy and you can sell. You can move your order. Order filled. Same thing as the active trader. And over here you've got some more complicated orders that you can do. Right now I'm in a simulated account, which is another big pro to the Tradestation, is the simulated account works awesome and it's real time. You don't even have to call them and change it from a delay. It's real time. And so you get an awesome paper account. The web app looks something like this. Here is exactly what we were just doing in the desktop version. So it's just moved over to here. I think we were trading JD. So I can do the same thing, change my quantity, and I could buy more here, and the order will go through like that, and you see it. You can see it like this, so they could put a stop market order up here. So it's just the same thing. You've got the matrix. Their charting on the web version isn't quite as powerful as it is on the desktop version. So if I switch back to the desktop version has basically all the same indicators that Thinkorswim has. It is missing some of them. But if you want to add more, you can actually even code it with the easy language and create your own indicators using easy language. So it's a powerful platform, and the app is also very powerful and works much like the web application. The next one I want to show you is Tastyworks. So Tastyworks is awesome for options, and their fees are great. So they are $1 per contract and a maximum of $10 per leg. So if you trade 100 contracts, you're only going to be paying $10 because it caps out at that $10. So that's something that's really cool. And then they have $0 closing commission. So it's basically 50 cents per trade, which is lower than everyone basically. And they have the cap out rate. So I have a Tastyworks account just to do options, and they have an awesome platform for doing option spreads. Here is the web version of Tastyworks. You can see if I hit trade, it's not very friendly on doing fast in and out trades because you'd have to manually put in the pricing and everything right here and then hit review send, and then it takes a second and then you have to review send and then send order. So it's not very quick on that, but the curve is awesome for option spreads. The table is awesome to find options. And then the desktop version is really cool. It has an extra feature that the web version doesn't have, which is active. So if you go to trade and choose active, you can trade really quick by just clicking on the bid like this. And then it's going to be 5 cents off of the ask on this side. Or if I hit the sell, it's going to be 5 cents off of the sell or the bid price. And then you can move this around to be where you want it to be, and then you can send your order. There is one more thing about Tastyworks, is the buying power. So when you're doing stocks on Tastyworks, as you see up here, I only have $52,000 worth of buying power, and I have $26,000 in the account. So that's only 2 times my cash, whereas almost all of the brokers give you 4 times. So I should have around $100,000 with this much money in Tradestation or in Lightspeed. Keep that in mind as well, but the options are basically the same with buying power as any other broker. There's so many more options. There's other platforms that will do better for charting like Tradingview or eSignal. It all just comes down to what you need. So there's links down in the description below for all 3 of these, but if you want the fastest, there's Lightspeed. If you want everything, Tradestation, and for options, Tastyworks. So all the links for all these platforms and brokers are in the description. Let me know if you have any questions about it, or if you want any future videos about any of these platforms. I can go into depth on any of these platforms. Thanks.